2, 1. Live. Cool. Friday night live video number 8, I think. I've lost count, doesn't really matter. I want to talk today about something I've been thinking about. It's prayer and the law of attraction. Prayer is pretty simple. We all pray maybe just in some way or shape or form. And when I'm talking about prayer, we're constantly talking about prayer. Oh man, I'm praying that I pass this exam. I'm praying that you better pray that I don't beat you up. We're constantly saying the word prayer. And I started asking a lot of people in the past week or two, do you pray, or when you pray usually? And eventually I started categorizing it. There's about 6 different reasons or times that you pray. And most of us, and I'm going to start going down. So some of us pray when we're committed a sin and we need to ask for forgiveness. Some people pray when they really want something. So they're praying to get something. That's a very common one, right? Some people pray for gratitude. Something amazing happens in their life, boom, they're dropping down and then they're praying, right? Or they just feel like they're thanking someone, thanking God for that A+ they got, whatever it is. Some people are praying for protection, as an act of worship, to reset in the middle of the day. So there's about 6 different things I figured out that people pray for. And we're going to just quickly go down and talk about each of them and just kind of my thoughts on how they relate to, I don't know, something awesome that, is talked in philosophy and different philosophies as well. So prayer, when we talk about prayer, the first reason, the most reasons I think that, or the number one reason that I see myself praying is gratitude. And so let's go deeper into that. So something amazing happens in your life. In my life, I feel like praying. I feel like just kind of getting into whatever kind of worship and just kind of closing my eyes and just thanking God for that thing happening, that A I got, or that thing I achieved in business, or whatever it be. And gratitude is an awesome thing, because if you study gratitude, if you study the feeling of gratitude and from a psychology perspective, you can't feel gratitude and anger or fear at the same time. So you can't feel grateful and fearful at the same time. So if you're a person that does pray, and you're more or less praying for the reasons of gratitude in general, that's usually when you pray, you're probably a person that doesn't fear much. Now I'm not talking about physical fear. I'm talking about the kind of fear that kind of prevents you from doing things for other reasons, like psychological reasons. So gratitude is an amazing one. And if you're a person that does pray mainly for gratitude, you probably don't fear much, and you probably have a good control of your anger. And if you do pray regularly, then you kind of can get yourself, if you do pray regularly for gratitude reasons, you'll get yourself in a constant state of gratitude. Anyway, so second reason people usually pray is guidance, is asking for something. So you want to not be broke anymore, or you want to be wealthy, or you want a family, or you want to get married, or you want that person, or you want to be married, you want the house, you want your financials to get better. So people pray to ask for something in life, and that's obviously very, very common, and we've all done it. You definitely do. I did a lot as a kid, especially, even if I wanted a video game, I would kind of in my prayers here and there, be like, that's what I'm praying for, which is crazy. And now it's obviously totally different things, and that's obviously huge. And this, praying for guidance or praying for something is very closely related to a lot of different theories on the law of attraction, right? So if you've ever read the book called The Secret, it's by Rhonda something. The book called The Secret, it's a very, very famous book, and it talks about how the law of attraction is this universal thing where you can get whatever you want in life if you use the law of attraction. And the law of attraction is simple. It's that whatever you want in life, you just got to start having thoughts about it, and you will bring it into your life. That's the gist of it. Whatever you're thinking about constantly is what's going to come in your life. Interesting thing about the law of attraction can't distinguish between good thoughts and bad thoughts. Hence the whole theory of positive thinking. Because if you have constant thoughts about, man, I'm so broke, or my job is so stressful, or you're thinking negative thoughts, then you're going to get more of brokenness in your life and more of negative energy, whatever. So if you're a person that's constantly thinking about what you don't want in life, then you will get more of those things. This is the law. And the law of attraction says that if you're constantly thinking about, I'm going to be wealthy, I'm going to make it, and you almost start feeling and believing like you've already achieved it, then that will literally start coming into your life. And that's the law of attraction. How did that tie back into prayer? Well, prayer, which has been established by many different religions thousands of years ago, incorporates the law of attraction into prayer, because it says what in the Bible and the Quran, the Torah, and everything else. It says, pray for what you want and you will get it. And essentially what that's saying is, bring thoughts into your head of what you want, ask for them, believe that you've more or less got them, and you will get it. So it's amazing how they kind of correlate, whether you put religion into it or not. So again, first reason people usually play, gratitude, thanking somebody for something and being in a state of gratitude and kind of humbling yourself down. Forgiveness is the next one, and we just talked about guidance. So forgiveness is obviously another one. If you're praying because you've just, again, you've done something and you want forgiveness, it's obviously very powerful, because if you can get into alone time with yourself and talk about or ask for forgiveness to whoever or whomever, or even to yourself, about that thing you've done that you feel bad about, well, it'll help you obviously move on in life, right? It's a great way of regularly putting everything in your life you feel bad about behind you and being able to move on. So obviously that's another thing you can use prayer for. And some people, that's primarily what they use prayer for, is whenever they need forgiveness. There's other things such as it's an act of worship to your God. If you have, if you're doing it for religious reasons, if you're praying to reset, this is something that I do quite a bit. I love to pray whenever I'm in a really stressful situation, or I'm in like something frustrating is happening, or it's like a work complaint or something else, or something just not going right. I'll just say I just go pray, which is pretty much like meditating. You're just kind of going by yourself, and then you're just resetting. You're putting that problem into perspective, and just like dimming it down. Whatever problem you're having, then you start imagining, at least when I'm praying, I reset and I say, I'm not going to come out of this prayer until that stress is gone. And I do that by saying that problem, okay, if this was my last day on earth, does that problem really matter anymore? Have I been in a similar situation before? Yes. And have I gotten out of it? Of course I have. And you can use prayer as a way of resetting. And in some religions where you have to pray at least once a day, or even once a day, or once a week, Sundays, or 5 times a day, and you can use prayer as not just this physical way of praying and just worshiping or whatever. You can use prayer for resetting multiple times in a day, and it's unbelievable. It's amazing what that could do to you in terms of, well, I don't know, just like your conscience, right? So, the key here is, you're probably already praying to some extent, and most of us are you either result the prayer as for guidance, for forgiveness, for protection. You're praying whenever you're feeling, for gratitude, whenever you want to thank someone. And sometimes it's just a way to reset. Sometimes you're just doing it because your God told you to pray, right? Whatever it be, there's just so many benefits of prayer, especially if you use prayer to its full potential. Hopefully this video starts making you at least think, or start, like having a conversation about prayer and what that can do. And then if you really want to, if you don't pray at all, and you want to start understanding the main benefits of prayer, read The Secret. The book is called The Secret, because it's from a non-religious perspective, talks about the law of attraction, which in my mind, when I read that book, is like, this is practically prayer that's been talked about for thousands of years, not talked about from a philosophical or from a psychological perspective in a way. And then it just lays it out really well about how the thoughts that you're having in your head are what's going to come into your life. And that's essentially what prayer is. Anyways, that's my video on prayer. Cool. Love to talk to anybody about it in person. I'm out. Have a good weekend.